Hello everyone, Jeremy here, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at one of the latest figures from the Simpsons 25 of the Greatest Guest Stars line. This is from Series 4, and this is Marge Simpson. But not just any Marge Simpson. This is a Marge Simpson from a very specific episode, and as we flip the packaging around, we see that this is from Season 4, Episode 7, entitled Marge Gets a Job. So the basic synopsis behind this episode was Marge started working at the nuclear power plant. Mr. Burns started to fall in love with her. She rebuked his advances. He got angry, and funny things happened in the beginning, middle, and end. That's pretty much it. So, in this latest line of figures from NECA for the Simpsons 25 of the Greatest Guest Star line, we can see on the back of this packaging all the other characters that are in this line. And it's really heavy on the musicians. We got Homer Simpson as his younger self. We got Weird Al Yankovic. We've got Otto, who is the bus driver, who also plays a pretty mean guitar. And we also have Elvis Costello, Tom Jones, Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, Tom Hamilton, Brad Whitford, Joey Kramer, and Buzz Aldrin, who is an astronaut. He is not a musician, but he was also in a very awesome episode. So, this figure looks like it comes with a couple of different accessories, and I got this from Toys R Us for $10.99. So, without further ado, let's open up the packaging and take a closer look at Business Suit Marge Simpson. Here she is. Here's Marge exactly as we remember her from so long ago when she worked in the power plant. So let's just take a nice look at the attire that she has, all gray with a bit of a salmon dress shirt and tie. And also the accessories that comes with this is her hard hat and a base to put her on. A base is something that I haven't seen in any of the other figures. They usually just stand up on their own, but perhaps they were having a little bit of trouble at times, so NECA decided to put in a little plate for them to stand on. Let's take a closer look at Marge's hat for just a second. Cool thing about this hat is you check out the inside of it, and it has these little grooves. It like fits right into her hair. So when you do put it on, it has a tendency to stay exactly as it should, or at least it's hard enough so that it just doesn't flop off. Because you see that I can sort of lift her up and her hat will continue to stay on. So let's just flip her around, and it's pretty much the same thing we got going on here. Her gray suit continues, but of course there's no detail on the back of this suit because it is for business. And all the way down to her legs where she's wearing those gray shoes. So, you know, very simple, but, you know, still very well done. Now, as far as articulation goes, there's not a lot going on here. One thing that we can do, if we move her a little bit closer, one thing that we can do is move her arm up, kind of like a handshake. You know, hello, my name is Marge Simpson, nice to meet you, that kind of thing. So her arm just moves up and down on her right arm, and then the left arm, it can kind of move, but it's really just meant to be placed over her chest like that. So it's not going to be a whole lot going on with that. And then as for her legs and her waist, just a little bit, you know, just a little bit at the waist, not too much. The legs themselves do not move at all. So again, much like all the other figures in these series, they're really more meant to be placed on a shelf and displayed that way, as opposed to having crazy amounts of articulation and posability. This is something that Simpsons fans should definitely enjoy, especially from the earlier seasons of The Simpsons, which a lot of us believe are the very best episodes. And this is not a variant of Marge that we see very often. It's usually just her in her green dress. So it's nice to see her in a different perspective. And look how high I have to go to get the top of her head. That is classic. So do I think you should get this figure? Do I think you should spend your $11 on Marge Simpson in her work outfit? I say sure. Only if you are a big Simpsons fan like myself. This should be very familiar to you, and just being able to collect all of these different types of Simpson figures, especially the ones that are not exactly like the ones that we usually see in their normal casual wear. This makes for a very good addition. Now, even though Marge is not a guest character, and this line is the 25 of the greatest guest stars on the show, it's still very nice to have, and I personally would like characters like this and like the younger Homer and Otto playing guitar over some of the guest stars, because even though the celebrities are cool, if I can just get more of these different main roster characters in different attire, then I would definitely go for them first. Now, the paint on Marge is pretty well done. It is not perfect by any means. Sometimes you can see a little bit of splotching here and there, but it's really not that big of a deal, and it's definitely not something that you can tell if you look at it from a reasonable distance. The closer you get to it, the more you can kind of see flaws, but hey, it's fine. It's fine the way it is, and I'm happy with this, and I'm glad that it came with a base, because this will definitely help her to stand up more. I don't know if this is just a thing with her or if this is a thing going forward with the rest of the figures, but I guess we will see as time goes on. So that's my look at this Marge figure from NECA, 25 of the greatest guest stars on The Simpsons. Once again, at $10.99 at Toys R Us. She gets a thumbs up from me, and just because she's here, let's put Business Marge right next to Lego Marge. Awesome. Alright everybody, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I'll talk to you later.